Welcome to Cretoni Entertainment. I'm Chris.
And I'm Bree.
And I didn't tell Bree what we're making a video of tonight.
I am completely... Oh, the Dominion box.
I got a Dominion box.
I got
I'm late to the party. This box has been out for almost a year now.
Yeah.
So I'm a little late to the party. I had no intention of buying this box. But let's build it and let's paint at least half of it in this video today. So I stopped playing basically Games Workshop games a year and a half ago.
Give or take, yeah.
Year and a half ago. Yeah. I just decided, for a lot of reasons, they weren't worth continuing to pursue.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna beat a dead horse with that. I'm not gonna make a whole video complaining about Games Workshop or anything. But after 20 years with Games Workshop, it was time to say, you know what? There's other rules out there that make for better games. We're having a lot of fun with all the one-page rule stuff, obviously, because we're doing the Age of the Grid stuff. We're having a lot of fun with Marvel Crisis Protocol. By the way, we got to play some more of that.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't played that in a while.
Well, I want to play with Bob.
Yes, with Bob. I don't know where I put Bob. He's built. Bob and Deadpool are both built. I got to remember where I put them. There they are. I can see them from here.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's completely off topic. We're building this Dominion box, or at least we're building half of this Dominion box. This enticed me to buy it because of one-page rules. Now, I have a pretty extensive Stormcast collection for Age of Sigmar already. Yes. So did I really need any of these models? No, I'm not a fan of the orc models in this box. I don't like the aesthetic. I do like the Stormcast that they came up with for here, but I don't need them. But we looked at it and we said, hey, these orcs would be good for things like D&D. Stormcast is always a way to use them as an antagonist or even as terrain, as statues in certain games. Yep. And then also, a friendly local hobby shop was trying to unload these. They had 8 of them on the shelf in the location closest to us, and they're a mini chain. They're a franchise of a bigger chain, but the owners of this particular one own 2 locations. And their other location has like 8 more of them on the shelf. So they had like 16 of these on the shelf that just weren't moving after a year.
Yeah, and they're good people, so it's nice to help a local.
Yeah, it's a nice little shop. We buy a lot of things from there. But they marked it down to basically wholesale cost.
Yeah.
They marked it down to what they pay. So we got this whole box, 57 miniatures for $110. And 57 miniatures for $110 is not a bad price. We can use this for a lot of different things. So we decided, let's put these together. And I think we're going to probably play at least 2 games strictly out of this box of the one-page rules of Age of Fantasy.
Yeah.
And I say 2 games because I don't think they're anywhere close to balanced. No. In the one-page rules point system. I know they're nowhere close to balance in the Warhammer Age of Sigmar system as well, but the big difference is I looked at these and I looked at the number of models and I said, I'll bet you we have an army or very, very close to a whole army just in half this box. And I'm right. I added it up off the version 2.9 version of the Eternal Wardens list, which are the Stormcast equivalent.
Yep. And
just doing a real quick and dirty math, I'm sure there's other upgrades I could find, and just trying to find quick equivalencies, I see 1,365 points of Eternal Wardens in this box.
Hot diggity dog.
I have not dirtied up the orcs, but I don't think it's anywhere close to that. So we're going to play one game that's just straight all the contents of the box, where whoever plays the Eternal Wardens, which I think is going to be you this time, is going to absolutely butcher the other person because it's going to be so mismatched in points. But then what we'll do is we'll parse them down and actually make 2 mini armies that are actually equal in points and play that out and see how it feels. But we're getting an army and a good chunk of an army for $110. So let's put it together and build it. And I don't want to spend a lot of time on this project. So the question was, how fast can I do the Stormcast out of this box? I was going to do the same thing with the orc half of this box, but then we had disaster struck, and I exploded a can of primer, and it took a couple days to replace it. Some things came up. The other one got derailed. I'm making good progress on it still, but it's blown for how fast can I do it.
Yeah.
So we're playing the game of how fast can I build and paint the Stormcast half of this box. So what we're doing right now in the videos, we're just building some minis. That's all we're doing. That's just getting fancy. This is what I call day 1. Now, the rules for this challenge, they're not really rules, but kind of guidelines. I didn't do anything ridiculous.
Yeah.
I didn't pull any all-nighters. I didn't do any... I did get kind of late on the last day, but I didn't pull any all-nighters. I didn't call off from work for this. I didn't use a whole day of a weekend. This is
what you would call off of work for? Not the times you've had a cold?
I'd consider it. So this was just kind of normal hobby night. Did I give up doing most other things in the evenings that I did this? Yeah, absolutely. I basically, we had dinner, we put the kids to bed, and I would sit down and just work on these things until pretty close to bedtime.
And I would play The Witcher.
But I didn't do anything out of the ridiculous. There's no ridiculousness here. So that was day one. We built a handful of models and primed them in silver. Specifically silver to make this go a little bit faster because we're painting these quick and dirty. So we go into day two, and on day two, our silver models have come out of the Silver Works. That's what I'm calling it.
What are you going to call that? Okay.
That's what I'm calling it.
I'm into it. I'm into
it.
So
we primed them with this nice shiny silver.
Shiny!
Just as shiny as we could. So we're going to move into starting to paint these guys while we go ahead and continue building kind of at the same time. So a lot of these all of these are push fit miniatures. And I used almost no glue in the construction of these models. Normally, I would glue push-fit miniatures. I'd get a super tight bond. I'd probably clip off a lot of the little pegs that hold them together. I didn't want to here. This is a quick build. This is a quick paint. This is nothing fancy about these guys. I just want them on the table, fast as possible to play a game. So we're pulling out Nolan oil, and we're washing everybody who's been primed silver to A, dull the silver down, and 2, add a little depth to the color. And I kind of alternated between building a couple miniatures and putting on some Nolan oil, and then building a few more miniatures. And this is basically how I spent day 2. So now 2 days into this project, I haven't really done anything productive other than build and prime.
I mean, but that is productive.
Well, it's the start of the project.
Yeah, I mean, like, what are you considering productive? Like, look at that. That looks productive to me.
Well, this is pretty close to the end of day 2 here. I've got almost everything built. I don't think I was 100% complete with everything, but I've got almost everything built. These spear bros are pretty cool looking.
Yeah, we know you didn't because you forgot about a Griffhound.
No, I built it. I built a Griffhound. That comes up later. At the very end of day 7, I realized I didn't even start painting a Griffhound. Blew through it pretty quick. It was no biggie.
All right.
But like we said, the Nolan oil on these, and they look pretty cool. So day 2 is pretty productive. So let's move into day 3. So now we're 3 days into this project. This started day 3.
Day 3.
We're moving along pretty well. The whole box is built as far as the Stormcast side goes.
I feel like next time we need to put, and here's what Bree's doing, just like a picture of me doing whatever I'm doing.
So here's one of these bros. This hammer dude's pretty cool. He doesn't have a direct analog to the Age of Fantasy rules, but he works well enough being like the equivalent of a Retributor, or their Retribution squads, I guess what they call them. And then we're doing the trick that you have seen 10, 100,000, 11 times if you watch the channel. We are going over our Nolan oiled silver with Nazdrack yellow Citadel contrast paint, creating our own faux gold. Guess what? Our armor is mostly done.
Is it fold?
Fold. It's faux gold. Yes, fold. Or goaf.
Oh, no, not goaf.
Yeah. Day 4. So we just primed the rest of the miniatures. We did some gold on day 3. Moved right into day 4. We're going to start into some of the detail work on a few of the minis here. So getting into the detail work on some of the golden minis, whereas some of these other ones that were primed silver overnight, now they're coming out to play, and they're going to be primed with that Nolan oil. So I didn't really kind of show this step truly in day 3.
The other one, yeah, because you were far back.
But this is basically all I did. A nice broad-bladed brush, 2 dogs over here vying for my attention right now, and just putting some Nolan oil on it. This doesn't have to be hard. Painting miniatures does not have to be a challenge. It doesn't have to be a slog to paint an army. This is going pretty quickly. I've got some videos playing in the background while I'm doing this. And I'm not doing anything fancy, guys. There's no fancy highlighting or shading or anything at all on this little force. And it's going to come out pretty good. So I decided silver weapons was kind of boring if we're doing gold armor. Yeah. So I pulled out this Ethermatic blue, and I just kind of painted the tips of their weapons. So this makes them kind of magical weapons. Dead air.
Did you not like my song?
I mean, I thought you weren't done.
I just supposed to sing magical weapons.
Oh, is that what we sing?
Yeah.
There's not like a refrain or a bridge?
I didn't really plan it all the way through. I apologize. I'll work on it. How about that?
So there's some areas that I want to leave silver here, and there's some areas that I want to go back over with like a
color,
like a gray color to take contrast paints and whatnot later. But on all of the ribbons, I mean, 40K players would call these purity seals. But all these like banners and ribbony things, and then this is universal across all of them.
They're flare.
They're flare. Yes, they are. They are flare. They have to have so many pieces of flare in order to come to the battle.
Otherwise, Sigmar doesn't bless you.
And they also have to remember to properly submit their TPS reports and the cover sheets.
Legit.
So we've got our Rhinax hide. Our Rhinax hide is going to be the base for our belts and whatnot. So belts, leather strappings, things like that. All of the flair is going to be that Carrick stone. Just a simple, flat color, nothing fancy. There's no big issue to these miniatures at all. I mean, I don't really have anything to say other than that's what we're doing. You watch the channel, you've seen these techniques before. We get a lot of progress done in a single night. I mean, what are your guys' strategies for painting miniatures? I don't like batch painting personally. I kind of did a lot of batch painting here.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't care for batch painting. It's one of my least favorite ways of painting.
Which is funny because you've, of course, over the years being a Warhammer painter for years, that's what you did.
Yeah,
a lot of batch painting.
Well, when you're painting a unit, this is a little bit different than if you're painting a Hero Quest figure or a Crisis Protocol figure or a Power Rangers figure, which are kind of the bread and butter of the channel. You're painting units of figures that are all fundamentally the same. They may have a different pose, like this bro right here. This leader is holding his shield down, but all of them have basically the same thing: big chunky boy armor, big chunky boy shields, and big chunky boy hammers. They're definitely overcompensating for something. But
I mean, the fact that there's nothing inside there and they're mostly just...
There is something inside there. I don't like the idea that there's something inside there. That's actually one of my problems with Stormcast lore. I don't like the idea that there are real people in there because they've been pulled up to the heavens via lightning in the Age of Sigmar lore, and then they get killed and explode into lightning, but they're still actually people wearing these armors. That's why I actually hate the figures that have their helmets off. But we're applying black on all the left area... left from the perspective of looking at it here, right side of the actual miniature itself, putting black on all the trim areas here, like on the shield, the shoulder pad. We're going to do a dark red on all the left areas, and this is going to tie in with my existing Stormcast army. My existing Stormcast army is actually silver, and it has this black and this red. So the reason I'm doing this is because this will let me continue to use these figures with my regular Stormcast army. And I could, there's lots of different justifications for why they look different. You could easily say this is kind of like the elite group of warriors under a certain commander.
Yep.
So they get gold armor, but they still have the same trim. Or because all my other Stormcasts are just silver, and all it takes to turn the silver into gold is Nazdrag yellow. If I felt like it down the road, I could just add Nazdrag yellow to the old Stormcast, and boom, then I look the same as these.
No, you can't do that.
I sure can.
Well, no, but you shouldn't, because then the guy who's sitting on the back of Rainbow Bright is going to look ridiculous in gold.
That's true. I have a giant dragon that I call Rainbow Bright for reasons.
I mean,
it should be self-explanatory by the name. It's called Rainbow Bright. The wings.
She's all that.
Why is Rainbow Bright got to be a she in Dragonland?
Because I like dragons as ladies.
I actually figure Murky is the she.
You think Murky's the she?
Yeah, I gender flipped him here.
Oh, okay.
I have two of the Star Drakes. One of them is all monochromatic.
Yeah.
Whites, grays, blacks. The entire dragon is painted that, except for the Stormcast armor pieces, which fit the color scheme of the army. And then Rainbow Bright is epically pink with rainbow wings. And they're awesome. Yeah, they're awesome side by side. One of them gets all the color, one of them gets none of the color. It's friggin' cool.
They're twins.
Twinsies! Anyway, this is not really a painting tutorial. This is we're building. We're not talking about dragons either. We're getting off topic like we usually do. We had a bad week this week at Tony Entertainment. This week is the first week in literal months where we've lost more subscribers than we gained.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's leaving?
I don't know. I didn't look. 2 people. They're dead to us, so it doesn't matter.
I mean, we lost 2 people?
Yes. This is the first time in months we've lost 2 people in a single week. First time. Very long time.
I wonder why they didn't like us.
I don't know. Very disappointed.
We should send them an email.
We suck, but
we should.
That was day 4. Let's go into it. Now, the rest of the video is going to go pretty quickly because I'm not going to keep showing you the same painted techniques. From this point on, it's really kind of the progress. So by the end of day 5...
I like with the...
Yeah, I got a video in the background. I'm playing the Orville in the background, actually. So by the end of day 5, we've actually got some basing going on. We've got some sand on our Spear Bros here. We've got work being done on the other Spear Bros and the Giant Axe Bros. I don't care about their names anymore. I really don't. We got the sand on there. We're gonna paint that up. It's gonna be pretty cool.
Can we give them real names?
And that was basically day 5. So like I said, we're jumping pretty quick to the end here because we've done the most important stuff that you want to see. Going to day 6. On day 6, at the end of the day, we achieved detail work on all the miniatures. They're not all 100% complete. Those Axie boys over there have not been fully finished, but we got more progress on the bases from the ones from yesterday because the sand is all dried and we were able to paint the bases. We're going to add some foliage to them, or foliage to them if you want to. And then this is the second group of Spear Bros, and they're about ready for their foliage. I'm going to call it foliage to annoy people. There's those Hammer Bros with the sand painted. There's the first Pokey Boys and girls.
Pokeballs.
I'm not even trying with the names at this point. And finally, we get to day 7. That's right. We did this army in a week. 1,365 points of Eternal Wardens in 1 week's time. This is actually not the end of day 7. This is mid-day 7.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was going to roll into day 8. I thought this was going to be the last clip I was going to do. And then I said, you know what? I can finish these. And I buckled down, and I did just that. And I finished at close to 12:30, and I had to go to bed for work, and I forgot to film another clip. So you get bad, blurry, long-distance pictures. But the point is not the quality of the miniatures here. The point is that we took a $110 box that we got on sale, made a 1,365-point army on it. We built it. We primed it. We painted it. 1 week, ready for the table. We can do it. So can you. Didn't take any extra time. Didn't take time off work. Didn't neglect our time with the family. All the kids were in bed when we did this. Boom.
Family.
Done. You don't count. You're in the hobby. Boom. Done. We're ready to go. We're going to be playing some one-page rules with these guys soon. Thanks for watching. Hit the bell button for notifications. Like and subscribe for more content.
Bye. Green wings. Green wings.